Live from NBC News, what we know about the San Diego shooting victims, suspects, possible motive, and more. Do you like that? I thought I was like more authentic. It's you wouldn't think, you wouldn't think American news would be that interesting to people in the UK, would you? But you forgot, haven't you? You forgot. If the news involves the regulars at Alan's world-famous snack bar, you know, the one they're always shouting about all the time, well, it's headline news in the UK. And the Prime Minister, no less, has to stick his oar in, doesn't he? I condemn the deadly attack on a big golden bell-end-shaped church in San Diego. My thoughts are with those affected. I know many snack bar enthusiasts in the UK will be shaken by this, worried about their safety when going about their lives or attending mosque and what it says about the times we're living in. I understand those fears. Violence like this does not happen in a vacuum. It grows in an environment where division and anti-snack bar hostility are normalised. This is intolerable. A vacuum, yeah. You want me to tell you what the vacuum is? You want me to tell you what causes people to be violent? Erroneously, I'm not saying this type of stuff's a good idea, obviously. I'm a military man. I think we should do intelligence-led operations and crush the people that promote mass murder, not just randomly shoot innocent people. But the idea that this is caused by politicians talking is truly preposterous. I've made the point a dozen times, but I'll repeat it for the Prime Minister. What do you think breeds more hostility towards the adherents of one particular faith? Option A, polite man in a suit occasionally saying critical things about them. Or option B, 2 weeks of unending news stories on loop with loads of little girls and innocent women getting scattered across the side of a pop venue because a very, very, very devout follower of said religion ran into a concert with a hissing backpack and joyfully blew himself to bits, motivated entirely by his faith. You don't have to answer that, lads and lasses. It wasn't a real question, to be honest. Right then, if you live in a cave underground and you don't know about this, I will read you the story briefly. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Can't just let loose with the tirade if you don't actually know what I'm talking about. I'll briefly cover what's happened, and then I'll tell you why it's quite mystifying, the response from the Prime Minister, and especially the lamentable hypocrisy from the androgynous android, in that he seems to be banging this drum endlessly, talking about an incident 10,000 miles away in a foreign country with single-digit casualties. But he didn't once mention Wayne Broadhurst, as we know. Not once, never has that man's name fell from his lips, ever. And he's not bothered about Mr. Novak, a teenager who lost his life, because our Prime Minister and the entirety of the Houses of Parliament has an uncomfortable penchant for importing the worst scum on planet Earth en masse to our country and giving them council houses. Yeah, every single turkey dinosaur their kids have ever ate, you paid for. And they repay you for such kindness by cracking a Salman Abedi, which is the aforementioned hissing backpack fellow. Anyway, I'll do the story. Right, here's what we know so far. If you didn't hear about it because you live under a rock, there was a shooting at a big golden bell-end-shaped church in San Diego. I think 3 people are believed to have been killed at this point. They said they're working to determine the motive of the attackers, who were believed to have later died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Okay, so as usual, clearly a mental case. When Whitey goes and does something like this, it's a mental case. They love to go, oh, why is it when a beardy weirdy does something, they always call it terrorism? But when a white lad does it, it's mental illness. Well, I'll tell you why. This isn't rocket science. But on the off chance that you bump into a Guardian reader in a pub and you don't know very much about the world, allow me to furnish you with the answer to that very, very, very simple question. All right? Terrorism has a dictionary definition. I'll put it up for you. I mean, I'm sure it's worthless to left-wing people because they don't care about the sky being blue or the grass being green or the fact that you need oxygen in your lungs or dictionary definitions. No, they don't care about reality. They may as well be in a small metallic tube with microchips in the brain and a nutrient hose plugged up their arse, right? They're in the Matrix because reality itself has no meaning to them, okay? So the dictionary definition, it's not really an argument winner against someone who's woke, but everybody else will be on board with it, right? Terrorism has to have a political motive. As it says here, it's the calculated use of violence or the threat of violence to instill fear and coerce governments or societies, carried out to further ideological, political or religious objectives, right? That's terrorism. If there isn't a grand scheme to it, a wider objective, then it's not terrorism. That's why when the IRA blew up a shopping centre in Manchester, it was terrorism because it was linked to their political aims of unifying Ireland. But, and it's not linked to colour, because I'll give you a good example. When rapper Mellow Bucks, who isn't a ginger, if you can't tell, when rapper Mellow Bucks and a big gang of his pals has a gigantic shooting battle in the middle of town, and it saw 4 people killed and 14 people get shot, it wasn't terrorism, all right? And guess what? Nobody there was white. See how easy that was? Piece of piss, isn't it? Piece of piss. Got nothing to do with your colour and everything to do with your political leanings. So if these lads were in pursuit of some higher political aim, then it was. But if they weren't, then it wasn't. So that's what happened. Not a big deal. Certainly nowhere near the Christchurch shooting, which was, I don't know, a few years ago now, wasn't it? And as I said, the story's not that important. What is important is the reaction of the British parliamentary classes. Because the Prime Minister's at it, as you've already seen, and he's getting tortured in the comments because, as many people are pointing out, he loves talking about random, trivial incidents thousands of miles away, but he never has a single word to say against his own citizenry. Why is this? Why is this? Well, I mean, you know why. It was a rhetorical question. Shabana Mahmood's at it as well. Oh, sorry, Shabana Mahmood.
Some of it was fun.
Good lad, Arnold. Give her a bat. Horrifying news from San Diego yesterday, where worshippers were attacked just days before Eid. My thoughts and prayers, of course they are, and the entire global community that constantly shouts about that snack bar they all like. And then another lengthy tirade that I can't be bothered reading you because nobody cares. So there you go, conclusive proof from the Prime Minister down. Everybody's massively concerned about the poor injured people in the foreign country with the foreign president 10,000 miles away from London. But if a young lad like Mr. Novak or poor old Wayne, who to this day has never once been mentioned by the Prime Minister, even though everyone in England saw live footage of him being dismembered on the pavement, while his cute little dog just wagged its tail and didn't seem overly concerned. I mean, there's a clue. If you live in an area near large amounts of asylum seekers, yes, I put that word in quotations because people don't seek asylum when they're from Morocco or Algeria or Egypt or any of the other holiday destinations that we constantly take people in from. As I've said before, Egypt, Morocco and Algeria all have all singing, all dancing tourist websites. Look, Morocco Uncovered. Wow, the bargain price of only $1,813. You too can spend a small fortune contracting botulism, eating camel shit in a dust bowl. Brilliant, yeah. But the point is, raving lunatics might be going on holiday there, but it's still a holiday destination. I'm from Middlesbrough. Nobody in the history of the world has ever paid money to visit Middlesbrough voluntarily. So I mean, if they're allowed to claim asylum, most people in the UK should be allowed to claim asylum, shouldn't they? Good news, lads. You can all just, move to Canada. Oh, no, you don't want to go to Canada. Just to erect it. Come to America. Everyone should be welcome. I mean, because if you can be an asylum seeker from Morocco or Algeria or Tunisia or Egypt, surely you can get a free house and 3 square meals a day and educate your children and get free healthcare for completely free. Surely you can do that, can't you? Oh, no, you can't. No, that's right. You know why? Because the Americans have got more sense than we have. Think of that. British people are arrogant about Americans. They say they're ignorant. Well, they're not as daft as the English, are they? because you don't see Trumpy Bear throwing the doors open for Egyptians, many of whom have an indoctrination campaign waged against them as children, and grow up aspiring to be the next shoe bomber. Right? This is the world we're living in. Completely tonto. Makes no sense to anybody sane, but that's where we're at. So, to sum up, this was a minor incident. This wasn't terrorism. And that is the biggest arsehole ever spawned by the British Isles and Ireland. Done. Piece of cake, that one. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think down below. If you disagree and you think, obviously, we definitely should be taking asylum seekers in from global holiday destinations, let me know down below. Just never invite me to go on holiday with you. I like margaritas, sandy beaches, and not dowries, acid attacks, and suicide bombings. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.